If you're in research, you know the pain, right? Your workflow is, well, it's a total mess. You're constantly juggling a LaTeX editor over here, a PDF reader with a million tabs open, ChatGPT for brainstorming, and then your citation manager over there. It's just a huge drain on your time and, honestly, your mental energy. But what if I told you OpenAI might have just fixed this whole thing in one single move? Today, we're diving deep into their potential game changer, a brand new tool called Prism.
And yeah, this really just says it all, doesn't it? On the left, that's the old way. It's that fragmented, chaotic mess where you're just bleeding precious mental energy every time you switch apps. But on the right, that's the promise. That's the new way. One single integrated workspace that's designed to just get rid of all that friction.
All right, so here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to talk about that broken workflow and why this change was so desperately needed. Then, we'll dive right inside OpenAI's Prism to see what it's all about. We'll check out its game-changing features, figure out OpenAI's bigger strategy here, and of course, we'll tackle the controversy and give our verdict.
Okay, let's kick things off with that broken workflow. Because look, this isn't just some small annoyance we're talking about. This is a massive, fundamental roadblock to scientific progress, and it's something that pretty much every researcher deals with every single day.
And get this number really puts it all into perspective. OpenAI looked at their own data and found that researchers were already sending, wait for it, 8.4 million science and math queries to ChatGPT every single week. I mean, that's insane. It proves people were already desperate to use AI. They were just forced to do it the hard way.
And that is the key point right there. Every single time a researcher has to stop, copy an equation, paste a paragraph, or mess with reformatting a citation, their train of thought just completely derails. That constant context switching just eats away at the mental energy that should be going towards, actual discovery and analysis.
And that brings us right to OpenAI's answer for all this chaos. This integrated solution they're calling Prism.
Okay, so what is this thing exactly? Well, at its core, Prism is a free, cloud-based LaTeX editor. And if you're not familiar, that's basically the go-to tool for writing scientific papers with a lot of complex math. But here's the magic ingredient. It has GPT-5.2. That's OpenAI's top-tier reasoning model built right into the document itself.
Now, this isn't like other tools that just kind of slap a chatbot onto an existing editor. No, Prism is different. It's built on tech from a company OpenAI acquired called Crisset, and it's designed from the ground up to understand the entire context of your paper. We're talking the structure, the equations, the citations, all of it as one single connected thing. And the best part, it's all in your browser. Nothing to install.
All right, so that's the what. Now, for the really exciting part, the how. Let's get into the actual features that could make this thing an absolute must-have for researchers.
So Prism is just packed with features designed to solve those really specific pain points. You've got context-aware drafting and an integrated literature search for the writing itself. Then there are these incredibly powerful tools for creating visuals and equations. And to top it all off, it supports your workflow with things like math verification, real-time collaboration, and even voice commands.
And this might be the most mind-blowing feature of all. Seriously, picture this. You sketch out a complex diagram on a whiteboard. Then, you just snap a photo of it with your phone, show it to Prism, and boom, it generates the polished, publication-ready code for that figure. We're talking perfect LaTeX or TIG-Z code. This is the kind of stuff that used to take hours of soul-crushing, tedious coding. That context-aware drafting is also a massive leap forward. Because the AI has read your entire paper, it's not just a grammar checker. It's more like a co-author. You can actually ask it to help you restructure a whole argument, not just in one paragraph, but in a way that makes the flow better across the entire manuscript. That's a huge deal.
Okay, so this thing sounds incredibly powerful, right? Which, of course, leads to the big question, why on earth is OpenAI giving this away for free? Let's zoom out a bit and really dig into the strategy behind this move.
And this quote from Kevin Whale, OpenAI's VP of Science, pretty much says it all. He said, 2026 will be for AI and science what 2025 was for AI and software engineering. Basically, they think Prism is going to do for science what tools like Copilot did for coding, spark a massive, massive revolution.
So there are a few layers to their strategy here. First, they're obviously meeting that massive demand we talked about. Second, they really do want to kickstart that revolution in science. Third, they're positioning this as a way to democratize research tools. It's free, it's in a browser, anyone can use it. And then, of course, there's the business side. Get everyone using it and lock them into the OpenAI ecosystem.
But as you can probably guess, the launch wasn't met with universal praise. Not even close. To really get the full picture, we have to look at the pushback from the community and talk about some of the really valid concerns that people are raising.
It really boils down to three main controversies. First up, the name, Prism. I mean, what a baffling choice, right? Naming it after a notorious NSA surveillance program. Then there's the fear of what people are calling AI slop. Basically, a flood of low-quality AI-generated papers. And finally, there's a lot of suspicion about how they're going to make money off this down the line.
And that naming issue, man, it caused an immediate firestorm. Tech forums just lit up. People were just floored by the irony of giving a tool meant for privacy-focused academics the exact same name as what one Hacker News user called one of the biggest scandals in tech history. It really shows a huge disconnect with who they're trying to reach.
So where does that leave us? It all comes down to this one central question, really. Is Prism a tool for actual breakthroughs, or is it just a machine for taking shortcuts?
And the honest truth? The tool itself is just a tool. It's neutral. Its real impact is going to depend entirely on how people use it. There are two paths here. If researchers use it with rigor as a powerful assistant to double-check their work and speed up the grunt work, it could genuinely accelerate breakthroughs in things like medicine and climate science. But if it's used lazily, it will just end up validating everyone's worst fears about a wave of AI-generated junk science.
Look, the tool is out there right now. It's free for anyone with a ChatGPT account. So really, the final question isn't for me, it's for you. Now that you've seen what it can do and you understand the risks, what's your verdict? Is this the future of science, or is it a privacy nightmare and a quality disaster just waiting to happen?